I just never seen homeboy explain himself.
He probably said something slick about Jay-Z 2 months ago, maybe. I'm just guessing, I don't know. Jay hasn't spoken to him in 10 years. He's still talking about Jay. He'll still say something slick about Biggs. These don't say nothing to them.
Nah, Jay never respected Cam at all. Yeah, remember, he knew him when he was young. That's why he was so offended, because he was a little nigga to him. To Jay, Cam was a little nigga. And Cam even said he little nigga every time he saw him. Pause.
Every time Dame Dash opens his mouth, I fully understand why Jay-Z did him the way he did. That's what people on the internet are saying after Dame went on yet another rant about Jay and their fallout. Meanwhile, Dame's also been making headlines with his back and forth with Cameron. And Cam claims that Jay didn't even do anything. So instead, Dame spent the last 20 years burning bridges over petty stuff, risking lawsuits, and overspending. Now, for a long time, people have been hearing only one side of the story, Dame's. But was Jay-Z really the bad guy? Did Dame get screwed over? Or was it just two big egos clashing over business? With everything Dame's been up to in 2025, lawsuits, financial trouble, and public fights, this story feels alive again. So let's break this down.
Jay-Z, what do you regret about y'all situation? Do you think it should have been more? You think you guys could have had more together?
Yeah, all that. But we were friends, so I just was more hurt as a friend. Like, how would you feel if your brother just betrayed you for money?
All right, let's start with what's happening now. Dame's been in the news a lot lately, but not for music or business moves. He filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, claiming he owes over $25 million, but only has about $4,000 to his name. According to court documents obtained by People, Dame is basically starting over financially. He listed his monthly income as $0 and said he doesn't own a house, a car, or even electronics except for a $500 cell phone. All of his personal stuff, like that phone, 2 guns, some clothes, and about $100 in cash, comes out to just over $4,000. On top of that, he's got huge obligations, over $647,000 in domestic support and about $19 million in taxes and other debts. He owes significant amounts to his ex-wife, Rachel Roy, with whom he shares daughters, Ava and Tallulah. He also owes money to his 2 other baby mamas, Cindy Morales, the mom of his son Lucky, and Linda Williams, mother of his son Boogie. Basically, Dame's in deep financially on multiple fronts. Besides that, Dame's got other lawsuits piling up, and one of the bigger ones is his $4 million defamation judgment from filmmaker Josh Weber, whom he trashed publicly. Dame was found guilty of defamation after claiming on a podcast that Weber had stolen from him regarding their past dispute over the 2019 film Dear Frank. But Dame is yet to pay Weber the $4 million in damages, and he claims he was just exercising his free speech. Dame said, "What I lost was defamation because these guys trigger me and steal my ish. You think there's freedom of speech. It's really not." And then, of course, on top of all this, the Cameron stuff isn't helping. Dame's been trading public shots back and forth with Cam, and it's getting messy. In fact, Dame just threatened to sue Cam for defamation, and he's accusing him of defamation, harassment, business disparagement, tortuous interference, unjust enrichment, and a pattern of historic sabotage. And get this, Dame is asking for $300 million. Dame even shared a screenshot of his formal demand letter and captioned, "I never hustled with Cameron. He's a civilian, but he's effing with my family office, and he's now made my wife and 2 of my sons uncomfortable. I would never do anything, and I don't want anyone who loves me to do anything violent. So this is the only way I can handle this. So this is my version of how The Godfather handled Fredo. I knew it was going to be one of my brothers. I just didn't know it was going to be you, bro. And that does make me sad. We'll just have to let a judge decide like businessmen, and I don't find it funny." But despite all this mess he's entangled in, Dame is still running his mouth on these podcasts. He just did a new interview with Art of Dialogue, and now he's dragging Jay-Z into his ongoing feud with Cameron.
Nah, Jay never respected Cam at all. Yeah, remember, he knew him when he was young. That's why he was so offended, because he was a little nigga to him. To Jay, Cam was a little nigga, and Cam even said he little nigga every time he saw him. Pause. You see, he called him an earner. I was like, this nigga's funny, man. You know, because I was trying to squash the beef, and he's like, "All right, just tell him." I was saying, he makes money for us. Like, how could you wouldn't be mad? You just got to. So he's like, okay. So he goes on the radio. "Oh, he's a good earner," and Cam was hot. I was kind of laughing because he was a good earner. Yeah, you're a good earner, Cameo. You were a good earner, but you fucked up on purpose, and then you gonna fuck with my kids. So can't be mad. I don't think you tried. You missed. You're Stugats. You know, that's what I ain't gonna get into it. But yeah, he's a Stugats. When someone does that, like when someone, like me and, I ain't gonna say who, because I don't want to get into it, but when it be people that would violate like our honor code, we would call them a Stugats. So we'd be like, he's a Stugats. So that we know what a Stugats means amongst us. A Stugats is someone that breaks the honor code. And, you know, Cam to me now is a Stugats. Like, yeah, he's a Stugats. He turned out to be a Stugats, you know, one of those. But, like, truthfully, Cam could never put Jay as a rapper. That's how I look.
So what is it about Dame and his obsession with Jay-Z? Why can't he just move on already when Jay has been ignoring him for years? Well, according to Jay, it's pure entitlement. As he explained it, people like Dame are not mad because he did them dirty. They're mad because they feel entitled to his help.
You hear people's gripe against me, it's always about what I didn't do for them. They don't say I did anything to them. They said I didn't do something for them.
And the wild part is that Jay did try to help Dame. He offered to buy his own masters back from Dame for $3 million. But Dame turned it down and said he'd put it on the market because it was worth $10 million. Well, no one purchased it, and Dame went broke. So how is that Jay's fault? On top of that, Cameron recently revealed how Dame also fumbled other bags out of pride and entitlement, including a $1 million offer from Cam and Mace and another $1.5 million from Jay-Z to save his Roc-A-Fella share.
When we seen that Dame owe $800,000 to a debt, or these people would get his third of Roc-A-Fella, Mace was like, yo, nah, bro, come on, B, that's Dame, bro. Word to everything I love, he like, that's Dame. And he don't even, like I said, they are the best relation. He's like, nah, tell him, he's like, yo, you wanna go 5-5? We can't let this go out like that. So I called Dame. I say, yo, Mace wanna help out. So he's like, we got $1 million. He's like, well, I don't know, because young boy NBA called me up. He got $2 million. We like, all right, cool. Like, we just wanted to get you out the news for looking bad. So I guess the young boy NBA thing fell out. So Mace called back the next day. Yo, see what he want to do. He like, yo, just wait on it. I might got another deal. So Mace like, yo, bro, he said, you got $1 million today in your account today. Hold on, I might got a deal for $6 million. I'm like, all right, cool. Dame waits 3 weeks to call back and says, yo, what's up? What's up, y'all wanna bust that move? So when I called Beth back, Beth like, nah, man, the deal's off. We ain't doing it, he waited 3 weeks. So I said, Dame, Mace ain't picking up. I just said like that, I said, I don't think he wanna do it. He tries to use reverse psychology on me and be like, oh, you gotta wait for that nigga to bust a move. Oh, you can't bust your own moves. I feel you. I feel you can't bust your own moves. No, I can't, Dame. I can't bust my own moves. I'm not feeding into that. No, I can't. I had 500,000. Mace had 500,000. And no, I don't have $1 million to give you for that, because the thing about it was this. Jay-Z offered him $1.5 million for the third before anybody. For the other third of Roc-A-Fella, he got offered $1.5 million from Jay-Z or Biggs or whoever, or a combination. And he like, nah, I'm not selling to them niggas that. He didn't want them to have it. So you got 1.5 on the table. You got a guaranteed $1 million from me and Mace on the table. And then you gamble trying to get $6 million. You talking about Drake is calling you. All these other people that are supposed to call you never followed through. And the deal fell through.
So does this mean that Dame was the problem from the beginning and not Jay? All right, let's rewind a bit for context. Roc-A-Fella started with Jay, Dame, and Biggs running the show. And for a minute, it was untouchable. But things got messy fast, especially when money and ego started clashing. And one big flashpoint was Cameron. Cam was signed to Roc, and when he wanted to push himself up the ranks, Dame supported him getting more power inside the label. And he pushed for Cam to get the vice president role. But Jay wasn't having it. He saw Cameron's promotion as a threat to his control and the direction he wanted for Roc. So that tension over Cam's rise wasn't just about Cam. It was about who really had the final say in the label.
So when I got there, Roc-A-Fella was real good to me. Everybody's doing what they supposed to do, but I went upstairs to the Def Jam like, now I'm gonna get the other muscle too. And nobody at Roc-A-Fella ever did that. And I just think that I was doing that other artists at Roc-A-Fella never did, and I don't know if Jay-Z liked it or not. A lot of it played into when Dame said that he wanted to make me like the president, the vice president of Roc-A-Fella. I kind of was speeding and went on TV and talked about it, and Jay-Z was on vacation, and I don't think when Jay-Z came back, he liked that. And, you know, they was giving me little side eyes and so on and so forth, to where some of my verses got erased off certain artists like PD Crack, and I erased his verse off.
But on top of that, Dame and Jay had completely different versions for the business. Dame claimed he was all about the culture and making rock a brand that stayed authentic to the hood. But Jay was thinking bigger, looking at mainstream deals, rock-owned ventures, and building a lasting empire. And by the mid-2000s, the tension blew up. Dame accused Jay of pushing him out and undercutting him, while Jay kept quiet publicly, letting the business moves speak for themselves. Dame also claimed that Jay betrayed him when he partnered up with former Def Jam president Layer Cohen. And according to Dame, Layer was the one who put ideas in Jay's head to break up Roc-A-Fella.
The question that was asked was, are you the reason why Dame and Jay aren't cool? He's the person that told Jay, I'll do a deal with you with or without Dame Dash or Biggs. And he's the one that advised him based on what Steve Stout told me and based on what Irv Gotti told me, that was like, yo, why would you split it 3 ways if you could just do it yourself?
Did you hear his response to that question?
Nah, I just heard about it, to be honest.
I wanted to know what you thought about what he said, so I'm gonna tell you what he said.
Not like long question, but for hip hop people, it always pops up. Is Leor the reason Jay-Z and Dame Dash is not together?
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's just
like, if Leor was the reason, then they never were together in the first place. Okay, right? Mic drop.
When Nori asked him that question, and the specific question for those who didn't watch it was, are you the reason why Dame and Jay split? His response to that question was, if Dame and Jay were really together, then I couldn't have been the reason that they split.
Right. But I think he's right on that. But I do think there could have been more of an elaborate answer. Are you the one that showcased that? Did you give him the option? Did you push him, make him aware of what he could do and that what you would support? Did you give him the idea to do that? Did you violate and have meetings behind his back? So when that meeting happened, when Dame was yelling, who made that meeting? It's a tape of it and me being mad. Those are questions I think should be asked, and people want to know. It's the elephant in the room. So why ignore it? You know, like, why wouldn't people ask that question? So that bothers me when Jay gets on the interview and when Leor gets on the interview and people don't ask the questions that they ask me. If you never ask me that question, I'm fine. But because y'all continuously ask me these questions, how come when they get on in front of a camera, y'all don't ask them? And if they give you like one little question to pivot, y'all just be pressing me. So I'm just like, give them, you know, like, just make it fair.
Fast forward to now, and Dame is still airing grievances publicly. He's been posting clips, interviews, and comments, taking shots at Cam, calling him out for being fake or opportunistic. But it's not just Cam. Dame's been trying to mend fences with some old rivals like 50 Cent, but his moves come across as inconsistent. One minute he's talking about unity, the next he's throwing shots in interviews. And that back and forth has made it hard for the public to know what he really wants, reconciliation or attention. So just days after he announced he was suing Cam for $300 million, Dame posted a video apologizing to everyone involved, including 50 Cent. And he said he wants to sit down with Cam and 50 and talk things out.
So, you know, I'm sitting here on the dock looking at the view, and I'm thinking, like, why am I beefing with Cam? And the only reason why is because I just never got to talk to him. He publicly said he wasn't going to talk to me, but almost every OG from Harlem and everyone I respect is like, yo, cut this shit, it's embarrassing. So, you know, Daniel spoke to Cam, and we could resolve this. I just want to talk to him, and it's over. And if you need to, you know, because we can't publicly have us as black people beefing with each other. That's just what they want. They use us to tear each other down. They don't do it. We do it to ourselves, but they usually pay us to do it. And I'm not going to get caught up in that. So I prefer to squash this. I want to apologize to Harlem because I know this was embarrassing for Harlem.
and I'm man enough. But you know, the thing is, in Harlem, we deal with things different. It also comes with violence, and I can't be violent, and I won't be violent, and I don't want any of my friends to be violent. My job is to keep them out of jail. So the only way I can deal with things, to keep certain things out of the algorithm, is to answer as soon as somebody says something. And my version of violence is just lawsuits. If I could take it to the streets, I would, but we can't. And the Italian Godfather, part 2, he killed his brother. The black Godfather didn't kill his brother. He teaches his brother. So, again, if y'all want to sit down and work it out, I don't even want to be a part of that project that y'all doing. I don't really understand what it is. But I feel like 50, Cam, me, if together we show that we could be beefing, pause, and then come together and maybe do a TV show together, something different, or a movie or something, just showing the world that we can work together, then we would prove everyone wrong. They love us tearing each other down, and I'm not doing that shit. And I apologize to my OGs for embarrassing y'all. But I just wanted to talk to him. And he finally talked to, you know, he finally replied when I hit him with the lawsuit, and I was like, nah, now go talk to Daniel. And if you want to, Daniel, if you want, please arrange us to have a sit down. You know, you can bring who you want. And also 50, you're invited too. But instead of us talking about each other on fucking social media like clowns, let's sit down and talk like real men. Let's take this off the street. The street right now is the internet, and this shit is corny. So I don't want to fight with y'all no more.
But 50 rejected Dame's apology with quickness and wrote, I agree with Dame 100%. It's better to work together. We should sit down and figure out how to move forward. I believe we can create a path to more success. Oh wait, Cam just said F Dame and his fake ChatGPT lawsuit. So it's F you, Dame. So you see, it's not just Jay-Z who doesn't want to deal with Dame anymore. Dame's burned almost every bridge in the industry at this point. Over the years, he's alienated former collaborators, friends, and even people who once had his back. He's built a reputation for letting his ego and arrogance run the show, and it's all catching up with him now. And it seems like a lot of his anger comes down to the fact that his money doesn't match his arrogance anymore. Dame has always carried himself like a mogul, but now with bankruptcy filings, lawsuits, and mounting debts, the reality isn't keeping pace with the image he's desperately trying to project. From the outside, it seems like what frustrates him the most is that he still wants the clout and respect he used to have, but the numbers and his position in the industry just aren't there anymore. Now, the public has been split on this for years. Some fans sided with Dame, seeing him as the OG who got played and blaming Jay for betraying his friends for money. But others side with Jay-Z because at the end of the day, he was simply making better business moves and had long-term thinking. Well, let me know what you think. Is Dame just mad because his finances don't match his ego? Or is he really a victim who got played by his day ones? Drop your comments below, and I'll catch you in this next video.